took a job with a financial company in Omaha because my aunt works there, and I had to do an internship for a financial company when I was going to school. But once I got into it, I just realized that was not the right fit for me. Sitting at a desk talking about people's financials to them was not my thing. And so I ended up moving to Wichita, Kansas, and started working at the Buckle. I'd worked there part-time in high school and in college. And so when I went there, I thought, okay, I'll just work here. I know it, I like it, but I'll look for something else because a lot of people don't think career when they think of a retail job. And what I found was the company, they care about their employees, and so I was given a lot of ownership responsibilities. I was able to do a lot of things that I hadn't done before, and so I was like, man, I really like this. And so I joined the management program, and that's a year program to get you set up to learn all the different aspects of the business. And then I did my training in Kansas City, and then I took over in the Lawrence, Kansas Buckle and managed there for 2.5 years. And then my husband and I wanted to move back closer to family, and the South Point location came open, and I was promoted to work at that store. And so I've been with South Point for almost 3 years now, and so with the Buckle over 10 years. But what I find that I love about my job, it's different every day, and I get to surround myself with people that I like to be around and see a difference in their performance too. So, and then I recruited my brother, he can tell you that.
Yeah. So my name is Nick Shada. I graduated from UNL with a master's degree in accounting. I did the 5-year accounting program here. I knew what I was going to do. I was going to go work for a public accounting firm. I had my job lined up before I was a senior. I was going to Kansas City, KPMG, one of the big 4 public accounting firms. Worked there for 2 years, took and passed the CPA exam on my first try, became a certified public accountant, and said 2 years is plenty of that for me. So moved back to Lincoln and took a job with the University of Nebraska Foundation and actually raised money for the College of Engineering for 4 years, traveled all over the country, met with very successful graduates and talked to them about investing back in the University of Nebraska. And I loved it. I mean, it was a great job. I had fun. I met fun people. But when Michaela took over South Point, she lived with my wife and I in Lincoln and had a need for some manpower over the holidays, so talked me into working Sundays, only Sundays, from noon to 5. And I figured, what the heck, right? Get a 40% discount, make some extra money on Sundays, don't work very hard, and pay for everybody's Christmas presents with what I earned. And so I did it, and I had so much fun that I actually worked, there was a time I worked 5 straight weeks without a day off, because I worked full-time at the foundation, and I started picking up Saturdays with Michaela, and I was like, wow, I am looking forward to going to work on my free time. So they talked me into joining the management training program in June of 2012, and I was promoted and took management of the Gateway store in June 2013, so it'll be a year in June as a manager. So it's a great job. And the reason that I made the switch is what we'll talk about a little bit with the corporate entrepreneurship, but in my past 2 careers as an accountant, it was all based on time. So you started as an associate, 2 years later you were a senior associate, 2 to 3 years later you were a manager, 2 to 3 years later you were a senior manager, and then on up the chain. And you could work extremely hard and be the best performer, or you could work okay and just get by. And over that time, as long as you just did enough to get by, you followed that same path, with little exception in pay. So I thought, man, I don't want to be the hardest worker, do 90% of the work, and make a little bit more than the guy sitting next to me that doesn't want to work as hard or isn't as talented. So that's why I got out of accounting. And I didn't want to wait 10 years to really see the big money come down the road. Although it is a great career, so if that's your choice, it's awesome. You'll learn a lot. It just wasn't for me, right? Then with the foundation, if I wanted to get promoted, the organizational structure, although it was a great job, I have nothing bad to say about it, the organizational structure was very flat. So if I want to get promoted, somebody has to leave, get fired, retire, whatever it is, and then I got a chance to take their job and crawl up the ladder, whether I raised $50 million or $50,000 or $50, right? It was just, that's kind of how it was set up. So with the Buckle, it's all based on performance. And that's from the teammate level all the way up through our president, who's been with us for 40 years. It's all based on your performance. So the harder you work, the more money you have the opportunity to make, and the better you do. And I loved that. I called it, I was in the passenger seat of my career in my last 2 jobs, and now I'm in the driver's seat. So I dictate how hard I work, how much I get paid, and that kind of falls into corporate entrepreneurship. So at the Buckle, as managers, you have autonomy to run your store the way you want to run it. You hire your team. You set up the look of the store. You're in charge of loss prevention. But you have our corporate office. Who knows where the corporate office for the Buckle is? Anybody? Kearney.
Yep.
Totally. Kearney. And so we have somebody there to cut our checks, right? Pay our payroll. We have lawyers there. If we have legal issues, it doesn't fall on my shoulders to figure out or go hire a lawyer to take care of a disgruntled guest or whatever. I just call the corporate office and they're working that through. Loss prevention, same thing. They take care of all that behind the scenes work. So that gives me the chance to do what I like, work with people and sell clothes.
Yep. The other thing too is the product. We don't go out looking for it, so they will ship it to us. So Monday through Friday we get freight. What Buckle does, they try to keep it different with the different locations. And so Nick and I store, you guys might go shop Gateway and see there's different product than when you come to South Point. They do that for a reason. They do that so that it keeps it interesting. So if we do have, and we have a lot of guests that will shop the same stores every week. And so when they come, they see something different. We get to decide where it gets placed. So we could both get the same shirt and put it in totally different places, and one area might sell better than the other area. So we train our teammates to know about the product and how to sell it. So that's one thing. Nick said it's very performance-based. As a store manager, you make a percentage of your net profits at the end of the year. So as hard as we want to work, but that we average probably 45 hours a week. And so for the year. Now during holiday and back to school, those hours are going to be increased, but a lot of it's how you train and hire and who you bring onto your team to allow you that balance, because we do have a personal and professional balance. And a lot of times when you think retail, think long hours, you don't think that that's possible. But because we have that, we're very motivated to make sure we're surrounded by people that can help us with that. So, and the product, again, helps us because we carry a wide range of different styles. Do you guys know kind of what we're known for? Or what Buckle's known for? What our niche would be? I heard a whisper, no?
Jeans.
Jeans.
Yep.
That'd be one. What's another thing that the Buckle's known for? Maybe not product oriented. Perfect. That's the two that I put down. Denim destination. We are a denim destination. I was telling the last class, I call it denim for every body. And so if you look, I'll talk guy side, Michaela can talk gal side. If you look at our guy side, we'll have denim for everybody from 8 years old all the way up through size 46, double extra long. And the biggest Nebraska lineman probably doesn't wear a 46. And double extra long is a 38-inch inseam, so you're probably looking at somebody that's at least 6'6" before they cross the threshold of needing that length. But we pride ourselves on the opportunity that anybody that walks into our store, with the exception of under 8, that we can fit you in a jean that will be a better fit than probably anywhere else in town that you can get it.
Yep. Girls would be the same. I mean, little girls, because we just started carrying the little girls and little boys line, so that's another area we're expanding to. So size 7 little girls up to a size 22 or a size 36, that's what that converts to. We go to a 37 inseam down to a 29 inseam. So if you're me and you're short, we have free alterations. So then our product also ties into our services. So we can hem the jeans right there. You get it within a week's time, and it's a free service for us. We also offer layaway buckle card. So if, as far as paying goes, if there's some stuff that you come in, you see you like, you don't need it all today, throw it on layaway at 60 days, and you just put 20% down. Special order, so if there's something you saw at the Gateway store, but come to South Point, we're sold out, or don't have it, then we can go ahead and special order for you. It's free to ship it to the store. And so Buckle just tries to tie in different services to allow people to continually come back to their store, which allows us to really get to know our customers and get to know them and be able to offer more product as they come through the door too.
Why would we offer free alterations? Any guess? because you don't find it everywhere, right? I mean, if I go to another retailer, clothing retailer, I don't think there's anyone else in town besides like suit shops that will do free tailoring. So why would we offer at the Buckle? We got to pay a seamstress now, right? And you got to schedule her and do all that as a business owner. So why make the headache?
Because it goes with customer satisfaction, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you can come in, I'll use an example of two twins that I went to college with here. One bought his jeans at another retailer. His buddy, I talked into buying jeans at the Buckle, and it was Chris and Scott, twins, right? Okay, so Scott bought his jeans somewhere else. Chris bought his jeans at the Buckle. Scott refused to go to the Buckle because it was too expensive. He didn't want to spend that kind of money for jeans. So he buys his $40 jeans somewhere else, and Chris buys his $55 jeans at the Buckle. So it wasn't that much more, but he got his free altered, and they were done the next day. So we go to a party that weekend. Chris is wearing his new jeans. Scott's wearing his new jeans. Chris is fit perfectly. Scott's are completely rolled up, like rolled up. And I'm like, well, your jeans are all rolled up. This is before it was cool to cuff your jeans. Now it's kind of cool to cuff your jeans. But I'm telling you, they're rolled. I'm like, your jeans are all rolled up. How much did those cost again? Oh, they were $40. How much do you think it's going to cost to alter that? It's going to cost you $10, $15, right? So now Chris's jeans fit perfect. They look cooler. They'll last longer. Everything about them is better. And yours just cost the same amount. But you've got to drive somewhere, pay somebody else to get them altered. So one is customer service, and two is that, okay, you're getting your jeans altered. So you buy them today. The gal comes every other day, right? So what do you got to do with your jeans?
Gotta wait.
You got to wait. You got to leave them with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to wait there all night, so you're going to go home and you're going to come back. So what does that give me and my team an opportunity to do? Sell you more. And now I know what jean you like. So I can show you the new one that just came in today that we maybe didn't have. So it goes both ways, right? It's customer service because you get a better fit, but it also helps build a business because we get a chance to interact with you more often.
Yep.
And they'll also have shirts and belts
Shoes.
and everything
Yeah.
else all ready to go when you come to pick it up, right?
Probably right.
Yep. And so for marketing, has anyone ever seen a Buckle commercial before? So Buckle does a kind of a different form of marketing or advertising. It's really a lot through word of mouth or through how Nick and I really train our employees and the kind of customer service that we give off. If it's great, obviously people are going to go tell their friends and invite people to come back in. So they really use that money that they could be doing for advertising to put back into the quality of our product, open more locations. We have zero long-term debt, and so we have the ability to open new stores without getting into any financial trouble, which is really nice, and that shows for Nick and I just a stable company that we work for. So that's something to kind of consider too as you guys are looking for places to work.
Yeah, there's all different types of entrepreneurship. And so you can either, like the last presenter, run your own business, or you can run with a business that's going to treat you like an entrepreneur within their business. So that's what was appealing to us, and what has helped make Buckle so successful is because they treat you like it's your business, because you get to do everything within it, but you've got all that support. So just to kind of tie it into the last presentation, since I know we're on a timeline, I think that the one thing that we do to be different is customer service, right? So you go to other places and you may or may not get greeted, but I promise you, you walk through the door at Gateway Mall and my team will greet you. They're going to say hello at least, and hopefully they're looking at you when they do it. So, I mean, and that's different now. I mean, you go to other places and you almost have to beg somebody to help you. I went to a hardware store and I needed a special screw, and they said it's 3 blocks that way and 4 blocks that way. I mean, no, they didn't. They said it's in aisle 37 and down in the middle on the right-hand side. And I'm like, aisle 37? All right. Can you walk me there and give me what I want? I want to spend money here, but I've got I had to search you out, and now I got to walk all the way across your store so I can buy something. And so I like the Buckle mentality of saying, hey, you're obviously here shopping. you're wearing our product, or you may or may not be wearing it, a lot of people are, so here's something you might like. Or what are you looking for, and I'll help at least get you in the right place, or teach you something about our product in the process. So that differentiates us, and that's what she was talking about too. What is it that you're going to use to make your business different than just everybody else? So being talked to and being helped is something we do different, I think, especially nowadays compared to back in the day.
And the other thing I would just tie into that, because she mentioned it too, is it's not just about the customer, it's also about your employees. That's one thing that I find that the reason I've stayed for so long and why Nick decided to join on is we really are, there's a lot of training going on with our employees when they come to work. There's a competitive atmosphere, they're learning